Right, welcome to Tea and Coffee with Tom and Cam. Is that right?
It is right, even though there's not a cup of tea in sight because it's too early in the morning for tea.
No. Usually he's a tea guy.
I did eat a cup of coffee this morning though. It was one of those ones. There was a couple of glasses of wine and we just kind of had to crack on with it a little bit.
When we say morning, by the way, it's 11 o'clock. There's a slight difference between mine and Cam's morning. Cam's morning is probably what time? Minus work, ignore work.
I will see 7 a.m. I will see 7 a.m.
When working?
Yeah.
Minus when you're not working then.
If I'm not working, you'll be lucky to see me up before 9 o'clock.
9 o'clock? Obviously hasn't got kids.
This is true.
But take advantage.
Yeah. I mean, it's my life.
Although, you know what, actually, before the girls, I was up like religiously at 5 o'clock, especially when I stopped drinking, the binge drinking.
You do realise I actually think there's something psychotic about that.
No, you know what? I was just getting better quality sleep. And then my biggest issue was when I was binge drinking, I was always trying to play catch up from poor sleep. Because when I'm asleep, it was like knocked out. So basically, whether I was bladdered at 12, 3, 4, whatever in the morning, the first 3-4 hours was just me this. You'd probably have to check if I was alive. I think there was times when I was in nightclubs, and people were checking if I was alive when I'd like passed out. That's how bad it was.
Kind of like Ollie the other night.
Even better. Pleasure rooms would just be like boom, 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 and I would be like sometimes just flat out so bad. Slater Street, quad vods. Mate, quad vods, 4 vodkas and a WKD, it was £4. It was the stupidest thing in the world. And you know how they got around in the end? Because I think they made him, I think they got told by the council or something that you weren't allowed to sell them. So what you do is you order 2 double vodkas and a Smirnoff or WKD, whatever. So then you just put it all together. I was like, make it make sense.
Mate, do you know what? This generation don't understand the vodka with Smirnoff Ice. Theirs is a pink hitch. That's it. And it's such a shame because it's such a poofy drink. Sorry, not trying to discriminate anybody, but it's a poofy drink.
Same as gin.
There was actually a point at one time that I actually liked gin.
Nah.
But then things changed and I got a bit aggressive and I was like, ooh, no. Only thing I will ever drink is beer or cider. Or not cider.
Oh, whiskey?
Vodka. No, won't touch whiskey.
Whiskey with me?
Nope.
You're not?
Nope. You were trying to get me in the whiskey.
Tequila.
It was a straight no. Tequila, I'll do tequila. But by that stage, thankfully, I wasn't a mess and it was already 3 a.m. in the morning.
Yeah, we do well, to be fair. You know what is a good underrated drink? Rum.
So back home we have this drink, right? We have this drink. Have you ever done spiced rum? So Captain Morgan's.
Yeah.
With Fanta Orange.
No.
Right. So back home we have this thing. We have this ice lolly called the Joker's ice lolly. Right? The sacred in Northern Ireland.
Okay.
Sacred, right? But if you mix spiced rum with Fanta Orange, it tastes like a Joker's ice lolly. So if you've got a sweet tooth, this was like perfect. Oh yeah. There was definitely a period of my drinking life where that was the norm. Like a 10 glass bottle of Captain Morgan's, a 2-litre bottle of Fanta. That was my pre-drink.
So I don't need, same as the other day, let's close that door. So I don't need a sweet drink, I need the opposite. I need something with a little bit of a kick to make me go, I'll leave that for a few minutes, I'll leave that. So like whiskey sours now for me.
Oh, yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah,
making them at home. These whiskey sours have been beautiful, but I'm like, yeah, I'm not going to down you because you're too strong.
Well, I mean, you keep giving me crap about the whole juice and vodka thing, or water and vodka.
Water, vodka, juice.
Vodka, water, and blackcurrant dilute. The only thing that you can flaw about that is the fact that I mix it with water instead of lemonade.
You're probably right. It just doesn't make sense putting a vodka putting a spirit and water together.
As a fitness expert, surely it should make even more sense.
No, that's why I have tequila, salt. Rehydrate that. Wait, and then I'd have in between drinks.
No,
I never
you didn't. If you didn't though, you try to justify that, but that is not the case.
It is the case. I swear by tequila by the salt, and I've always said, although there was no salt that day, and I was fuming, wasn't I?
Oh yeah.
No salt anywhere.
But there was also no water, Tom.
No, there wasn't. No.
So the salt would have been redundant anyways because there was no water.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whilst for me, although I'm not hydrating through the vodka water blackcurrant, there's still a principle to it where I'm not dehydrating myself even further.
I'm not going to do it on a night out. I don't even think I'm even going to try. I'm not going to lie. It just doesn't make sense, does it? But It does make sense.
The best part is,
does
right,
make
is that
sense.
it goes down like water. You can't even taste the vodka.
not bad for you.
Anybody from back home in Northern Ireland knows exactly this drink, right? The worst part about it is that we've got a name for it.
Go on.
We call it Red Diesel.
I've heard that before, though.
Red Diesel because it's rocket fuel.
Yeah.
Absolute rocket fuel. If you tried to drink 3 double vodkas of blackcurrant within, like, say 90 minutes, you'd feel it.
Yeah, you do.
You would.
do.
Without
That's snake
a doubt.
bite. Snake bite.
Snake bite. What's that?
Cider and beer mixed together. Half
Oh.
and half. Mate, that was bad. That was bad.
Oh.
You know what the worst thing is? When we were younger, especially when we were like, I didn't really drink properly until I was like 15, 16, more like 16. And like, at the time we were boxing quite heavily, so Saturdays would be a sparring day. We'd go in and we'd do sprint sparring and stuff. And it wasn't too often, but there was a few Fridays where we'd have, what, four cans of Stella or 8 bottles of Stella, and we'd go back to boxing every Saturday morning, still laughing our heads off, still fucking half drunk. And we'd beat each other up, like, not everyone, but there was probably about 6 of us.
No, but you were still going there and you were still boxing, trying to beat a pulp into your mate.
Because we knew our coaches wouldn't be happy, like, we were saying, yeah, we're not here because we're hungover. Yeah, we'd just fill each other in. I'd say the worst thing is, if anyone local, there was a thing called Bar 10. It was on one Saturday night, I think I must have been 17, and I was boxing the week later. And somehow, I went and got bladdered. My dad turned up and my dad was like, what are you doing? None of the other boxers are drinking the week before the fight. And I was like, oh, fuck you, Dad, watch this. And I went home and I went for a 5K run. This is about 2, 3 in the morning, bladdered. Got home, I don't know how quick it was. I got home and I was like, shower, bed, yeah. I didn't feel too bad the next day.
You must
have been dehydrated.
You must have felt like the Flash doing that run though.
Well, the worst thing is that must have been the first of like many occasions. So like basically since then, like stupidly with Naomi one time in London, jumped out the cab, 6 miles from the hotel, nowhere was open, had to run home. 6 miles, had to run. Honestly, did it within about 45 minutes. I've done it from Liverpool, especially from like Birkenhead way. I've done it that many times where I'm like, there's no money, nothing. I'm gonna have to do it. I'm gonna have to sprint. It's bad.
I mean, I've only ever had to do that once. I went out with.
By the way, that is not fitness advice. Not this conversation, but.
No, not really. I mean, we did say we were just going to do this just to, be a little bit more raw, a bit more open, and just get to know us. But there was one time when I was out with my ex-missus, and it was Good Friday, and I didn't realise at this time that on Good Friday, everywhere closed earlier, including the taxi depots.
Really?
So we'd been out, then we fucked off somewhere else, and then came back, and the taxi depots were closed. She was able to get a lift, which was good, but I wasn't getting the lift off anyone or anywhere. So from where I lived, right, was a 10-minute drive, but I didn't fucking realise. A 10-minute drive is actually a 1-hour walk. So it was like 3 o'clock in the morning, half 3. I walked all the way from Newcastle to where I lived, just outside of Clock. Not Newcastle, England, by the way, Newcastle, Northern Ireland. Beautiful beach town. But yeah, that was fun. And there was one other time where I actually went out, was able to get home, but I managed to leave my keys at home. And I rang everybody. I rang my ma, rang my dad, rang the house. Nobody picked up the phone. So I had to climb 6-foot wall, knock on the door. Nobody was waking up. Like, they were all out cold. And so that was me. I was locked out. Now, thankfully, at this point, though, my parents had a caravan. And it was parked at the backyard. And I went, oh, please be open. Like, surely if it's in our property, they wouldn't have locked it. Like, surely they would just kept it open to just get in and out. So I went and took the chance, and I went and grabbed the door. Yes! Rocked in. I went, right, am I really going to chance my luck here? Surely somebody's left their sleeping bags in here. Look underneath the sofa, sleeping bag. Yes! Because it was that, or I was going to sleep in the gym shed with all the rats and stuff, which was not going to be pleasant.
No.
So, 7 o'clock in the morning, Saturday came. My dad's on the phone. Hello? Where the fuck are you? I'm in the caravan. Where are you? I'm in the caravan. Oh, okay. As long as you're home, that's good. Yeah. Okay, no problem. You can let me in? Oh, yeah. comes in. I'm still like half awake, half asleep, so I am in the caravan like this here. And then the door cracks open and the light just bursts through and I'm like, fuck. And then he just stands there, looks at me and he's just laughing.
So you can do, isn't it? You know,
oh, do you know what? Do you know what? He did turn around to me and went, do you know what? Fair play to you. Like, he did. He was like, you used your head. And he took the kid out of a bad situation. And he's like, I'm glad I've left this unlocked.
Fucking hell. I had a mate called Cubbins, and he was wild, he was, and we did a few wild nights when we were younger. At the time, we had a conservatory, but we never had a proper roof on it. I had one of those old, like, plastic-type roofs.
Oh, yeah.
So we've come home, couldn't get in my house. We're in the back garden, it is summer, so we could have literally just stayed in the garden, just slept in the garden. Like, Cubbins fell asleep in the garden, I was like, I'm getting in the house, getting in the house, getting in the house. So I've climbed up the conservatory, haven't I? Climbed up the plastic parts. My sister's windows open. The little ones like that I'm on about, Jimmy. So you've got the big window, the little windows, the little ones open. I can get through this. At the time I was boxing, so I was 60 kilo, man. I was tiny, do you know what I mean? So I'm halfway through the window, I'm stuck. The blinds are rattling everywhere. I've knocked everything off the windowsill. My mum's obviously thought, someone's robbing the house here, Bri. My mum's come running into the room. What are you doing? I'm like, trying to get in the house. Get down. But to be honest, like, it was that bad where, like, obviously I couldn't get through it. I fell out one way. I was going to go right through the conservatory. Yeah, and then Cubbins was just flat out asleep. I should have just fell asleep with him. There's too many. Right, I've got a thing, so it's one of the videos that I was wanting to actually, I'm going to start pushing these videos because people stereotype coaches and PTs, don't they?
They do, yeah.
We've had this conversation many times, haven't we?
There's an expectation with it, isn't there?
Yeah, you should have big arms, big back. You should just look fucking ripped.
Yeah, you should look ripped
actually, you're not ripped. You should just look like Eddie Hall.
No.
I
think the general norm and expectation of a PT is
starting to change.
The thing
Still
is,
not there.
No, the thing is, people are getting worse. People are getting worse because, you know, they're seeing all these different things and, you know, general people, like day-to-day norm people that are inch fit. So when they see a PT and the PT's not necessarily fit, they're getting criticized and ridiculed for something shocking. But the thing of the matter is that there are different coaches for different aspects of physical activity, right? It's not necessarily always fitness or endurance or athleticism, physique. Yeah. It's not always that. It is an aspect of physical movement.
And this is the thing that needs to be highlighted so much more. So I seen this video of this lady and she was like ripping into the coaches, like on my size basically, saying like, oh, you noodle arms, it looks like you need a coach, never mind coaching people. And I'm like, because I've seen him for years and years and years, it doesn't really bother me, but I'm like, oh, you just don't have a clue, do you? You don't have a clue, you don't even know the background. Like, for my background was boxing. Mm-hmm. Like, people wanted me to coach them to get them fit for boxing or to lose weight. Yep. Yeah. My background's never been bodybuilding, it does not interest me. So I've gone from obviously doing a lot of boxing, a lot of hip work, to realising actually that's not good for a lot of people because it's just too much stress, especially when they're highly overweight. Mm-hmm. So then I've had to strip it back and everything leads generally back to strength training. Now just because we're strength training doesn't mean we're going to be these big ripped, juice-head bodybuilders. And it's like, God, you just keep, like, because it's not necessarily true what you're saying. It's
no. And I mean...
But I'm going to start doing videos. Like, noodle arms here. These noodles. Look at these legs. Look at these pins, man. I tell you what, though, for someone who's 65 kilo, I've got some nice strength on me. Like, do you know what I mean?
You move some good numbers. You move triple digits for your squat, your deadlift. You're not far off on your bench. Yes.
I just can't get past 107.5 for the 1 rep max. But I don't put enough into it, you know, training it once a week properly.
But see, then again, this is what's really interesting though, right? Because do you see the kind of the rule of thumbs that me and you both use? Like, even though we are colleagues and like we understand that we coach quite well, but we still do it quite differently.
Yeah.
Because I would never dream of doing a 1 rep max. Well, you would never do a 4 rep max.
Right, okay, so my concept is 1 rep max sometimes, especially if you can't get that tension, is quite hard. And sometimes when people lift the 1 rep max, they actually can flow into a second or a third because it's hard to get that first tension. Some people just can't. I struggle, maybe more mentally, probably is more mental, especially with like my deadlifts. As soon as I get to that one number, I'm like, I think I get in my own head, I struggle to get the tension. But as soon as I get the tension, sometimes I can get a dodgy second rep up. But
let's highlight dodgy for a second there, will we?
And again, it could be then a second and a third, do you know what I mean? So I like to do more 3 to 5s now. Because if someone gets a 5 rep max sometimes, I'm like, okay, push, just get the 3. And if they can get the 4th and 5th, it's a bonus. If not, you've got a 3 rep max. Cam just meets in the middle at just 4, and I'm like, there's no give or take, there's no play.
But there's a method to the madness, right? And it's very simple, right? When we take general public members that come to our gym, and they're general members.
Yeah.
Like they are day-to-day jobs. You know, they're people that aren't thriving to run around with six packs all day long.
Yeah.
You know, not everybody wants to go and do a 25k marathon. You know, whatever that may be. Some of them just genuinely want to come and they want to be fitter. They want to be healthier. They want to have a nice balance because let's face it. How many of the ones in our heroic place love a bit of food and stuff, and they still love socializing?
Love food, social life, alcohol.
Do you know what I mean?
Do you know what I mean?
Like one of the ones to highlight is Foz. Foz is probably one of the fittest members that we have in the
Absolutely.
gym. Like athletically,
Yeah.
fantastic. But her
Social
guilty
life.
pleasure is a beer on the weekends.
Yeah.
And she'll admit it. She'll always say that she loves a beer on the weekends. But back to the 4 rep max, right? So with me running classes for the general public, right? For general admission, 4 rep max for me is a nice tasty little number that people understand that, do you know what, I can get 4 reps of something and it's not gonna hurt me, I'm not gonna do any damage, and confidently I could probably stick with it. But the real safety net with it, right, is that if I'm running the 4 rep max testing with my class and we go into a weight and their target is 4 reps, if I can see at any point that their form is giving at all, we cut it there. Not that it's ever happened, thankfully, because everybody in the class has really come and learn and understand what the capabilities are in their own body and their own strength, which is great. But for me, that 4 rep max really kind of solidifies that this is what you can do. Plus as well, the amount of times that I've seen people do the 4 rep max and they still have a bit in reserve. So then from that point, I'll give them the feedback and go, even you know you could do more than that. And they'll agree. But the best part about the 4 rep max though is that we take the 4 rep max number, right? And then we deduct 20% off of that, and then we run that number for the next 3 weeks of the course. And then we continue progressing on and on and on. Because rather than them just in the heat of the moment just going, oh, do you know what, I might actually just bump this weight up today. It's strategic because we bump the number up when the 4 rep max has got bumped up. And if the 4 rep max doesn't bump up, then we need to identify something a bit deeper.
Yeah.
But I've been running the 4 rep max for what, 4 or 5 months now?
Yeah.
We're going into month 5, and nobody has stalled the progression yet.
Yeah, no, you're doing well with it.
So it is going well. But what's so intriguing though is that we do take different approaches.
Yeah.
But we never ever turn around to each other and go,
You're wrong.
yeah.
There's no doubt you're wrong.
And this is what's wrong with the coaching industry right now. There's too many people coming onto the platform and they're going, no, like this person has no idea what they're talking about. No, you don't do it this way, you do it that way. And it's like, no, this is the problem with fitness. Fitness is singularly applied specifically to that person. Everybody is different. I don't love running. You love running.
No, I don't.
So why do you do it?
I don't fucking love running. What makes you think I love running?
Because you do it.
Because I think it's important.
You think running's important.
I definitely do.
So you think I should run?
I think everyone should run.
Why?
The body's evolved to run. The body has evolved to run. To walk, run, stand tall, then throw, yeah?
Okay.
Right? I also say the best way to look at it from a 21st century point of view, because obviously we're not hunting gatherers no more and fighting, but I would say, you haven't even got children for this point to work either. So I tend to say to parents, if you've got a child, right, and your car's broken down for whatever reason, you haven't got your car, you can't get a taxi, whatever, and you need to get to your child, I would say, most towns' diameter is probably about 5 kilometres, give or take. If they're the other end of the town, then you should be able to run to them. Yeah, and I always think, within 20 to 30 minutes, you should be able to, by that point, you should be able to sprint to him actually when you really want him. But if you're unhealthy or you can't run, it's going to be a lot harder. You might as well wait for your taxi. And by that point, your child could be in danger, could be hurt, really, really need you for whatever reason. I know it might seem I'm looking at worst case scenario. It could be nothing. It could be something minor.
No, but that is how we look at these things sometimes. This is how we justify certain forms of exercise.
Of the 21st century.
Yeah, 100%. Because it's how we justify it.
Yeah.
Totally, and it makes sense. But I am gonna throw something back at you here though. Right? Hold on. Right? So based on the fact that you know that I don't run, and the fact that I am not necessarily the most athletic person. You know that I am strong and I am fit, right? Yeah. Now, I don't do a whole pile of cardio, right? But I did do a run, not October past, the October previous, right?
18 months ago?
Yes.
Okay.
Right? Now, I'll tell you exactly where I ran from, right? I ran from my gaff on the Wesley, right? I ran up through Rossmore, came round Rossmore, back up to the town, Was it up to the town? No. Do you know where I ran up to? I actually ran up towards the aquarium.
Blue Planet?
And I stopped at the aquarium, then came up Whitby Road to Morrison's.
Okay.
down there through the town and
So
back to
about
my
8K?
gaff. So I think if I'm correct, if I worked it out correctly, it was actually 10K.
10K. Yeah, I believe that.
What would you estimate I could do a 10K in? Time-wise?
Say an hour and 5.
Do you know how long it took me?
Go on.
45 minutes.
Fuck off.
Swear down. I think it was like 46 something. But I swear down, I'd done that distance in 45 minutes.
What happened? Were you in a bad place? Like, did you have an argument with someone?
No, do you want to know what happened, right? I fucking despise cardio. I despise it with a passion, right?
You're trying to prove a point to yourself and you've never ran since.
The worst part about it was, right, is that I got up and I was like, right, I really need to do cardio. And I was behind on my cardio for the week because I was with my coach at this point. So I had cardio targets. I was behind on my cardio and I was like, fuck, I really can't be bothered going to the machines in the gym and just doing the mundane cardio, right? Sitting on a spin bike or doing a run on the treadmill or whatever it was, right? So I tried to justify it by going, right, do you know what it is, right? I'm gonna win this. So rather than walking to the gym, which was gonna take 15 minutes, I'm gonna run to the gym. That way then I've got like 5 or 10 minutes of my cardio done. I get into the gym and then I've only got like 10 or 15 minutes to do rather than the full 30 or whatever it was, right? So I ran, and as I got to the road before I turned off to the gym, I went, no, do you know what? Actually, I'll take the long way around, right? Now, if you know where Bodytech is, right, from where I am, all I have to do is cross a railway track, and then I'm over towards Jackswood's new estates, right, where the petrol station is, and you can cut through Jackswood estates so you can to go up into the industrial that way, which is what I would have done. But I was like, no, do you know what? Like this, I'm feeling okay. Like I'm not panting. Like I'm not heavy breathing. Like this is manageable. And I was like, I'll take the long way road. So I went to the main road and then went to loop around. As I came past the dealership and the van rental place, I was like, might as well just keep running.
It's nice when you have that feeling, though. It's nice when you get that feeling.
It is. And you know what? Like when
Doesn't always happen.
As I was doing it, I was like, this is super manageable. Now, bearing in mind as well, like the music I listen to really helps. Because I love a bit of drum and bass, so I love a bit of rave music. And if anybody listens to a bit of rave music or a bit of D&B, right, the music kind of picks up a little bit and then it gets this big massive drop, right? So I was almost doing like interval sprints, you know, where every time that this big drop will come, I would go, oh yeah, and I go, come on, and then, woof, and then I would just leg it, and then I'd go, oh, breathing getting a bit heavy now. Okay, pull it back.
So he's saying about his music. When I was, I really struggled emotionally when I was younger. I did a lot of running for boxing, and I had a power ballads playlist. A power ballads playlist.
Oh yeah, power ballads.
Yes.
Oh.
Yes. And like, I get what he's saying because there'd be times where like I don't know, just say Meatloaf was kicking in it, and I'd be like, sprint down the road. I'll do anything for love. And I'm gone.
But I won't do that.
Yeah, I'm off. But you're all right, man. Music is important,
Or a
isn't
bit of
it?
the Eye of the Tiger. You know, you're in the middle of a run and Eye of the Tiger comes on and you start bouncing to the beat. You're like,
I don't get the same effect now.
no.
With no music, I don't like running. No.
So what the fuck do you play in your headphones when you run?
More podcasts and audio books now. And even they can piss me off as well, yeah. So I really struggle with running. Like, yeah, I'd rather run with someone like yourself and talk, or just be in the pleasure of, or company of, sorry. Now that I've done about 1,000 half marathons, I'm not doing anymore. The only thing I need to do now is a marathon. But then I know it's going to take a lot of training, and I'm like, is it really worth it? It will be worth it, but because of how bored I get of running nowadays, like, you have to think, I was doing like 3 5Ks to 5 mile. 3 times a week, for years and years and years, from the age of 14 up until 22, give or take.
Yeah.
Like, everyone who gets bang into the fitness now, or over like the last 5-10 years, and they're smashing the high rocks and stuff like that, and I was doing that level of fitness, in some respects, when I was 14 to 18. Like, if high rocks was around back then, I reckon I would have done an amazing time.
You had a bit of beast at it.
Because I was training that much, I was so focused, I was, like I say, emotionally unstable.
Yeah.
That was my motivation.
Yeah.
And it really motivated me, and I really pushed. Whereas now, like, because I don't really have those sort of struggles, like, I actually struggle for motivation. Hence why I talk about structure so much, because the structure is like concreted, it's imprinted, and obviously that's what I do with the group PTs and everyone I coach now. Because most of those people aren't really bothered, who I coach aren't too bothered about actually achieving X, Y, Z of like high rocks or sprints. They just want to say I've done it half the time.
So this is this is what's interesting about the difference about, you know, what type of training me and you both like, and, you know, how we coach as well, because, you know, it's quite clear, it's quite obvious, like, I love bodybuilding, right? And my whole principle behind exercise and fitness is being confident in your physique and being strong and being conditioned, right? Now, those are the two aspects of my coaching, which is strength and conditioning and physique development, right? But it's interesting though, because, like, for me, like, it's very, very solid, you know, what the goal is, what the end goal is. My end goal is to look better than what I did. You know, my end goal is to be on stage and to potentially win a bodybuilding show, you know, and to really showcase all the hard work that I've put in over the years, right? But for you, you're like, well, I've done all these marathons, and I've done all these, like all these other competitions, high rocks and stuff. So you probably are feeling like you're at a stage where you're like, what is next?
I've got to, like, the focus, the overall goals and focus, I always say, is like to be healthier, simply be healthier, physically, mentally, emotionally. That's like the first one. Second one, readiness to perform. Like, basically, even though you're doing like bodybuilding, you're in a position where you are ready to perform if you need to.
Well, see, that's
like, you take your run there, and
I'm not this, like, you know, stiff ass fucking fucking walking around like a whale bodybuilder. Not that that's the case with everybody, like, but, you know, there's a certain stereotype that bodybuilders get, and I think that kind of needs to be taken away a little bit, you know. But yeah, like I can still be functional. Yeah. Like, I can still move, I can still go about and all the rest. You know, like, if you did ask me to hop into your high rocks, you know, on Saturday morning this week, which I'm not doing, I could do it. I could complete it. I could do all the advanced targets that you'd give for the wall balls, the burpees, the runs, and all that there. Now, am I gonna look done in at the end of it?
Just to note, by the way, the difference between your training and high rocks really is change in load, change in speed, change in resting time.
Literally.
And obviously, the stronger you got, when you're doing hypothetically like 9 kilo or 6 kilo wall balls and stuff like that, and if you're able to, say you're doing thrusters at 80 kilo, and you don't do that in bodybuilding, but if you were, going down to a 6 kilo or 9 kilo ball is going to be light work, and it's just getting those reps out, isn't it? So just a note, there's not a huge difference in functional training, strength training, bodybuilding. The
biggest aspect, if you want to really get into the science behind it, the biggest difference, if you want to get like sciencey about it, is the type of twitch fiber muscle that there is. Yeah. Because you've got slow twitch muscle fiber, and you've got fast twitch type 1, fast twitch type 2.
Well, they've changed the names out. It was 2A, 2B, 1A, wasn't it?
Oh, okay.
And then they
so it is different from me and you then, because that's what I knew it as. I knew it as slow twitch, and then fast twitch 1's fast twitch 2.
Yeah, so basically it was, they changed 1 to X, didn't they?
Did they?
I'm sure they did. It's been a while since I looked at it, but I'm sure they did, you know.
But that's, I think that's the kind of way they really go. But why is that the case? And that is why.
I'm assuming it'd be the 2A. I was probably saying cross both, like 1A, 2B.
Yeah. Because your type of high rock session is definitely fast twitch 2. Yeah. Whilst my type of strength and conditioning session is fast twitch 1. I wouldn't go as far to say that it's a slow twitch, because there is still minimal rest period between it, and you still have to react quite fast. Whilst if I was doing my bodybuilding sessions, that's slow twitch, because I'm taking optimal rest in between. I'm not rushing my movements. I'm also like taking probably about anywhere between 90 to 120 minutes to do my session, so an hour and a half to 2 hours. Whilst for your high rock session or my strength and conditioning session, it's anywhere from 45 minutes to an hour for both sessions.
Ish, yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like my ones can get their sessions in 45 minutes.
Yeah.
And the high rocks, what is it, an hour?
Give or take, yeah, it depends really. Depends on where,
because of the warm up and the cool down.
Yeah.
Because
anything between 45 minutes and an hour and 15, depends on what
your shift. Because your stimulation probably runs for at least somewhere between 30 and 45 minutes.
Ours in the gym, 50 to 60 minutes.
Yeah. And then it's your warm up and your cool down period. Yeah.
Why did we get onto this conversation? What was the?
We were originally talking about our different sporting backgrounds, which is ironic considering that me and Tommy were both boxers as kids.
Yeah.
And I think that's where we get like our similar like coaching mentality, you know, because I can definitely say that boxing was why I got into personal training, and you'd probably say the same thing.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, well, more due to, like I say, coaching other people to get ready to box, coaching people to get fitter, to lose weight, and then like just because I really cared about how people felt and stuff like that, and you get people coming to me a bit more upset and saying I'm struggling and stuff like that, and then it was like, okay, how can I be better at what I'm doing, and then I say, all the research was always going back to strength training, really.
Do you know what, right? That's a fantastic point, and I think that is probably the one identifiable flaw within the coaching industry. It's not necessarily about how they coach, but it's more about their compassion to coach.
Yeah.
And that's what's really bugging me at the minute with the industry.
Yeah.
Is that, yes, the industry is so saturated, but we do not have enough compassion within coaches between clients.
I think that's more because, it might not be true this, you might not agree, but I think that's because there's that many people now who have just worked with a coach for 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, feel like they know what they're doing, and that's it. I could just use this program now to throw one for you, to throw one to you, and they don't fully understand it because they've not had that compassion, they've not needed to understand people's emotions, people's struggles. Like, when I was younger, and when I first started coaching, I really used to struggle with the notion that people couldn't do push-ups, bodyweight push-ups. Because for me, in boxing and stuff like that, you're just doing it for fun, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And when people come to me and they're like, I can't do push-ups on my knees, never mind my toes, I was like, are you fucking for real? Like,
Yeah.
it's a bodyweight exercise.
For you were like, this should be a standard movement. This should be something that every single human being should be fit enough to do.
Absolutely.
But that was never in the sense of demonizing, and
No,
that
no,
was
no,
more
no,
of a
no,
sense
no,
of
no.
like, if you can't do it, we need to figure out how.
Yeah.
It was never a sense of, well, I'm
Never mock
better than you because
Yeah,
you
yeah,
can't
yeah,
do that.
yeah,
That was never
exactly.
the scenario.
You know, you won't mock him, you'd be like, okay, this doesn't make sense to me right now, but all we need to do is take a few steps back, create some stronger foundations, build into it.
Well, sure, I do the same
Whereas I
thing.
feel like a lot of coaches now, this is not necessarily true, there's probably a lot of coaches out there, not a lot of coaches out there who, like I say, have done 3, 6, 9, 12-month programs with a coach, feel like they've done everything, and it's like, you know, you don't understand, like, you don't even know how to break things down. It's like, you don't even know how to do foundational levels. Like, I'm doing more foundational stuff with my daughter Willow, in homeschooling. Like, just strip it back to the very basic movements. Like, if you can't do a push-up, right, I've got a go-to exercise. If you can't do a push-up, what's your go-to exercise if you can't do a push-up?
So I have a fantastic format of breaking it down, but you go ahead first, because I want to hear yours, and then I'm going to tell you exactly how I break down the fundamental of a push-up.
So, basically the body needs to be squared, doesn't it? Yeah. So if you can't do a push-up, and it's not on your knees, and you can't do it on your knees as well as your toes, then I would literally just jump onto the back, flat bench, put maybe a 30-degree, neutral, very tricep focused, neutral dumbbell press, especially during my group PT, because it's one of them, it could take a while to set up or to work with a certain person to help them get to where they need to be. So it'd be easier just to start off with the foundational movements, so just build up the triceps in a neutral press, and then push it with more overload, more reps, less resting time, more sets, etc., and then keep introducing them into bodyweight push-ups. That's what I do in my group PT, but I'm intrigued.
So whenever I incorporate push-ups into like classes programs specifically, it'll generally always be on a push session as well, a bench session. So they've already done like a lot of like shoulder fundamental movements, and they've done their 5 sets of 8 or 10 on their bench press, and maybe some shoulder or triceps. So they're already a bit done in by this stage, right? So whenever I put push-ups in within the last 10 minutes of the session, I always say to everybody, I want to see everybody doing a full set here. Like, you don't get away with just 3 or 4, whatever it may be. If I've programmed 10, you do 10, and I don't care how you do it, whether that's on your toes, on the floor, right? If you can't complete a full set of that, then you drop down to your knees. If you can't do it on your knees, then what we do is we take you to a bench, and you do it on your toes there, right? If you can't do a full set of 10 on your toes, on a bench, inclined, drop to your knees again. If you still can't do it then you've got your last and final resort, which is you do push-ups against the wall.
Yeah.
Every single person, no matter what size, no matter what strength, no matter what fitness you are, can do a set of 10 push-ups. It just differs on your own capability of how to do it. That's it.
Nice. Just incline, making it easy.
At the end of the day, like, see, whenever I was a kid, right, and even whenever I was a boxer, and I was built like this, right, I still couldn't do a push-up. No. You see, out of everything, right? Like, strength was my weakness forever. It's ironic because, you know, we're sitting here chatting about these things, right? But do you see everything that I've already told you?
I prioritize strength though, because when I boxed, I wanted to look as strong as possible.
Yes.
So like, there was a different priority there. But mine was like very ego focused.
In my gym, we were very boxing, fundamentals, technique, and fitness focused. We didn't have any weights in our gym. No weights. So for me, it was so frustrating that I couldn't do a set of 10 push-ups. I couldn't even do a single pull-up. Like, it was embarrassing. Like, I was like 58 kilos, at 15,
So-
and I could not do any of that.
You just took it one step further. I just said when I first started coaching people, I couldn't comprehend that people couldn't do push-ups. Just automatically expected anyone in a boxing gym could do it, and then he's just told me he couldn't, and I'm like, wow.
Yeah. No, genuinely.
Don't think I didn't coach their boxing gym because they would have learned.
But this
some
was
of
the
it.
thing, though. This is what's so interesting about where I am now, just over 10 years later, over a decade later, right? Is the fact that, you know, back then, functionally and fundamentally, I was super fit. Like whenever I was at the boxing, right? We done the juniors class. So it was me and a couple of mates of mine, Josh and Dean, right? Really good fellas and fantastic fighters, right? We were through thick and thieves, you know, in that boxing club. It was a family, like we were a real community. And what we used to do was we used to come in at 6 o'clock, right? Which was a junior session, so under 18s. It was a full hour. We did the full session, right? Once the session was done, the seniors were coming in to do their 7 till 8:30 session, right? So when we finished our junior session and the seniors were doing their warm-ups, we were going for a 2-mile run, coming back and doing more pads, bags, sparring, and then finishing up. So we were doing 2.5 hours, 3 days a week. Mate, you see whenever I say that I was fit, my dad couldn't believe how fit I was. Like my dad started coming to the boxing, and that's how I got into the coaching. But like fundamentally, I am very fit. Like I can be athletic if I really wanted to. Like see if I genuinely wanted to go and do a high rocks, right? No word of a lie. If somebody really fucking challenged me to go and do it, I could do a high rocks.
Yeah, I believe
and
you could.
I think I could get a pretty decent time.
Yeah.
You know, depending on if I did decide to train for it or not, right? But if I didn't train for it, I think I could do a high rocks and sub. I genuinely think if I didn't do any training for a high rocks, I could do a high rocks and sub 90 minutes.
Oh, he said it now. He's got to do it, isn't he?
Oh my fuck.
He's gonna have to do it now, isn't he? Right, Cam. I think that's going to be the end of us because I need to go to that toilet.
We'll wrap that up there. But yeah, we will definitely do a bit more of this here. So well, whether we
Absolutely.
we upload parts of this, you know, on social media, or who knows, maybe we'll even create like a bit of a YouTube series out of it.
Yes. And what I want to talk about in the next sequence, and for no particular reason. Actually, no. Yeah. Trends. I want to talk about trends, and I want to talk about the kettlebell craze. I want to see what the opinions are for different reasons, but yeah.
Yeah,
What are you saying?
that sounds like a good idea.
Sound.
Tea and coffee with Tommy and Cam, even though there's no tea. Thanks for joining us.